This one's gonna be a bit of a longer video, but I just couldn't narrow it down to 10 or 15. So, yeah, here's my top 20 favorite movies of 2022. And yes, there are still honorable mentions because 2022 was just an amazing year for film, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and start this with the honorable mentions. First honorable mention, we have Violent Night, a really fun Christmas action film with David Harbour as a badass Santa. Turning Red, Pixar's best movie of last year, and a very surprising movie for me. Scream 5, a really fun return to one of the best slasher franchises of all time. X, a introduction to hopefully a really great horror trilogy we'll see later this year with Maxine. Studio 666, a really fun, campy B-movie slasher starring my favorite band of all time, the Foo Fighters. So that is my honorable mentions. Let's go ahead and jump into this list with number 20, and that is Belle. I did not get around to reviewing this movie when I saw it, but it is an absolutely beautiful animated film. I loved the world that this is built off of. It's really like a kind of musical version of Ready Player One, if you will. I just really love the voice cast here. Everybody's given a terrific performance. The animation is absolutely beautiful, as with just about all Japanese anime. I just love this movie. It really missed out on a Best Animated Feature nomination, and I will be mad about that forever. Number 19 is a movie I did review, and that is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Nick Cage's big comeback to cinematic films. And I still absolutely love this movie. I gave it a 10 out of 10 when I reviewed it, and it's still a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Just about all my top 20 are 10 out of 10 movies. So, yeah, I just really love this movie. Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal, absolutely terrific together. And honestly, I want to see them in more stuff together. Number 18 is a very shocking movie. I was not expecting to like this as much as I did, but Barbarian was a lot of fun. It had some really neat twists and turns. My kid is in the background playing, so you're going to hear him throughout this video. But I thought that Barbarian was one of the most unique horror movies in years. Some people have judged it, called it unoriginal or whatever, but I don't go to horror movies for originality. I'm tired of the snobbish attitude people have towards horror movies these days. But I just really love Barbarian. I kind of hope it gets a Blu-ray release one of these days, but I'm not holding out too much hope, unfortunately. Number 17, another movie that I never really got around to reviewing for whatever reason, and that is Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. I was very shocked with how much I love this movie because I wasn't a huge fan of the first Puss in Boots. So when they announced another Puss in Boots, I'm like, are they just trying to milk the hell out of the Shrek franchise now? But when I saw this movie, I'm like, holy shit, this is actually a great movie with great character development for the characters in this movie. And probably a top tier DreamWorks villain with the Big Bad Wolf. And if you haven't seen this movie, I'm not going to spoil exactly what the Big Bad Wolf is in this movie, but it's an absolutely terrific movie. I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of the Shrek franchise, check it out. Number 16, and this is probably the most fun I have had with a movie this year, and that is Bullet Train. I just have a ton of fun with this movie. Brad Pitt is terrific as this down on his luck semi-assassin who is hired to grab something off a train, and everything just goes to shit once everybody's onto the train. Everybody else is great. Brian Tyree Henry, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Joey King. Hiroyuki Sanada really steals the show when he comes into play in the third act. Just a lot of fun, and I have fun rewatching it every time I do. Number 15, probably the only animated movie on this list that I actually did get around to reviewing, and yes, that's something I plan to change this year. I will review more animated stuff this year. But number 15 is the Bob's Burgers movie, and I am a huge fan of Bob's Burgers. I didn't really get into it until last year, but I absolutely love Bob's Burgers, so I had to go check out the movie. And I saw it 3 times in theaters, and I just absolutely loved it. You get a lot of great character development for all the characters, beautiful animation because the movie budget really boosts the animation budget, and you just get a really fun mystery story as well, so it's here at number 15. Number 14 is a movie I wish was released in theaters because I feel like this movie would have smashed at the box office, and that is Weird, the Al Yankovic Story. This is a straight up parody of music biopics. Just like Weird Al parodies music, this movie parodies the music biopic genre, and Daniel Radcliffe was really great as Weird Al, and you have Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna, who's really an over-the-top, mustache-twirling villain. You get Rainn Wilson as Dr. Demento. It's just a lot of fun. It's high energy. And like I said, if you're a Weird Al fan, you're probably going to like this movie. So if you have Roku, check it out. It's really worth a watch. 13 is going to be on just about everybody with a brains list, and that is The Batman. This is going to be on everybody's list, at least everybody with taste. Yeah, The Batman is an amazing movie. It's probably my favorite live-action Batman film. I love it to death, beginning to end. Robert Pattinson is my favorite live-action Batman now. You get terrific performances, not from just Robert Pattinson, but Paul Dano as the Riddler, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. Just absolutely terrific performances all around, and I'm really excited to see what Matt Reeves does with this franchise next. Number 12 is going to be a lot of people's number 1, and this is still a great movie, so it's on my top 20, and that is Top Gun Maverick. I really love this movie. Now, admittedly, I am not a huge fan of the first Top Gun. I think it's okay, but overall, it's not exactly one of my favorite 80s films, but this one absolutely blew me away with how they were able to handle the flying sequences, how they handled the character development for just about every major character in this movie. Tom Cruise does an amazing job. Miles Teller really steals the show. And I really love that scene between Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer. And I'm really glad that they actually got Val Kilmer back for this movie. And that scene really hits a lot harder when you realize that this is probably the last time we're going to see Val Kilmer in a film. So it was just a really well-made movie, and my dad actually liked it, and he usually doesn't like these types of 15 to 20 year late sequels. So props for that as well. Number 11 was my number 1 for quite a while this year, and well, you can tell just how good the top 10 were by how this is at number 11, and that's Cyrano. I really love this movie. Peter Dinklage does an amazing job in this movie, as does the rest of the cast, whose names I cannot recall at the moment. I'm very sorry. But everybody's great in this movie. It's got some great musical numbers and really, really great dialogue. And also Ben Mendelsohn, who's the only other cast member that I can actually remember his name for some reason. Ben Mendelsohn does a terrific job as the villain. He's a real creepy incel in this film. And I just really liked it, so it's here at number 11. Okay, so number 10. And this one is probably not going to be shocking, but Elvis. Yeah, that's you. But Elvis is number 10. I love it. Austin Butler, absolutely terrific in this movie as Elvis. And his Oscar nomination was very well deserved. And this is an unpopular opinion, apparently, but Tom Hanks was really good as Colonel Parker. I don't know why people didn't like him in this movie, but whatever. Really loved him in this movie, and I just love the editing and the style and the look at Elvis's life, even though some stuff might have been fictionalized. It's definitely fictionalized in some parts. But I just really like it, so it's here at number 10. Number 9 is really not shocking to me, but The Whale, Brendan Fraser's big comeback film. I loved it, every second of it. Brendan Fraser gives the performance of his career. Hong Chow is great. Sadie Sink is great. Absolutely beautiful film. A lot of emotion in it. I just really loved it. It's really great, so it's here at number 9. Okay, now the kid is gone because he did not want to be in here. So, where was I? Number 8 is a really great movie in my opinion, and I'm probably alone in thinking this, But Clerks 3 is at number 8. I loved this movie. I'm a huge fan of Kevin Smith's View Askew universe of films. I don't think any of them are bad, and Clerks 3 is probably the best one in the series for me. And I never thought that anything would ever top Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, but here we are, and I just really love this movie. Brian O'Halloran gave a really Oscar-worthy performance, in my opinion. I feel like he should have been nominated, and he was robbed. Jeff Anderson as Randall, really great as well. Jay and Silent Bob are really sidelined in this movie, which is fine because this is a Randall and Dante story, and it made me more emotional than I expected a View Askew universe film to make me, but here we are, so yeah, I really loved it, and it's here at number 8. Number 7, to no surprise to me either, is Glass Onion. I love the first Knives Out. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. So when I found out that they were making sequels to it, I thought to myself, wow, I've got to see these sequels because I love the characters that Rian Johnson creates. Rian Johnson's also one of my favorite directors of all time. And I just really love Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc in these films. I'm really excited to see where the third one goes, and if they make more after the third one, it would be great. But I just really love this movie. It's got a really great mystery at the center of it. Really great performances from everybody else as well. You have Janelle Monáe, Edward Norton, Dave Bautista, all on the top of their game here. So I loved it. I really hope they release it on Blu-ray one day, so it's here at number 7. Number 6 is a film that's actually up for Best Picture this year, and that is The Fabelmans. I love Steven Spielberg. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. So this is an autobiographical look, well, semi-autobiographical look at his life in his early stages of getting into filmmaking, and I thought that it was really, really good. And I really hope this does win Best Picture because I feel like it's gonna win Best Picture because it's just a really great film and a good tribute to both Hollywood and Steven Spielberg as a filmmaker, which is kind of obvious because it's directed by Steven Spielberg, but that's aside from the point. I love this movie, terrific performances all around, so it's here at number 6. Alright, we're getting into the top 5, and these 5 could easily be number 1 at any point in time, but right now, this is the order I have them in. So number 5, we have The Woman King, and I have already reviewed this movie. I've sung its praises multiple times on my Facebook page. Viola Davis was amazing in this movie, and I am very disappointed that she did not get an Oscar nomination for this movie because she was amazing. I mean, top tier performance overall. I just love this movie. I really need to rewatch it. I did buy it on 4K, but I don't have time to watch movies at home that much anymore, unfortunately, but I'll get around to rewatching it, and I really hope I do soon because I just love this movie. Absolutely amazing. So it's here at number 5. All right, number 4. This is really when we get into the ties because 1 through 4, I really had to think about it. I had to rewatch all 4 of these movies and really decide where they place. So number 4 is Nope. I love it. This is an amazing movie. In my opinion, this is Jordan Peele's best movie, and that's coming from someone who still thinks that Get Out is a modern day horror masterpiece. It was Us. It was good, but it was nowhere near the level of Get Out. And this movie, it really rivals Get Out for the level of genius writing that Jordan Peele puts into it. I just really love everything. All the performances, Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, both terrific leads. Then you have the supporting cast, Steven Yeun, Michael Wincott, and Brandon Perea. All do an amazing job. Terrific cinematography. It should have gotten a cinematography Oscar nomination, but whatever. Visual effects, terrific. I love the twist with the alien at the end, which if you still haven't seen this movie, I'm not going to spoil because it's just an amazing film. And it's got one of the most effective horror scenes in modern horror history, so points for that as well. Just really great movie. Highly recommend check it out. Number 3 is a movie that I cannot get through without crying, because this is just such a realistic movie. It's about something that actually happened, and it still infuriates me to this day, and that is Till. And I get why people didn't want to see this movie. It's a very traumatizing movie. It's about a very traumatizing event that actually happened. But I feel like this is the type of movie that everybody needs to see, because it's just gut-wrenching what happened. But it's important to learn about, because if you don't learn about the history of situations like this, nothing's going to change. And this is just a great movie. It's a great showcase of emotion from Danielle Deadwyler as the lead character, Emmett Till's mother. And thankfully, this movie does not show the lynching, but it still does not hold back on the emotion after the fact of what happened and everything that his mother went through to try and get justice. And the infuriating fact that she didn't actually get justice. It's just a great movie. Justice for Emmett Till, and arrest that terrible, terrible woman who got him killed. That's all I can say. Number 2, the runner-up. And these top 2 constantly fluctuating. But number 2 right now is The Menu. I love this movie. Amazing performances from Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, John Leguizamo. I'm really glad to see John Leguizamo doing more stuff these days, because between this, Violent Night, and the John Wick films, he's really having a resurgence in his career. And I'm happy to see that, because I love John Leguizamo. But that's aside from the point. This is a really great film, great commentary on the rich upper class and consumerism and food snobs. That's a really great commentary, because some people are just so uppity about food these days. I'm like, it's food. If it tastes good, I'll eat it, but whatever. Just absolutely amazing movie. Really great ending. One of the most fucked up endings in horror history, but I really loved it, and I just hope they don't make sequels or spin-offs or anything, because I feel like this movie should just stay as a one-off. But absolutely amazing movie. Was also robbed of a lot of Oscar nominations, so yeah, I'm gonna bitch about that for a while. But number 1, best movie of 2022 for me, and we are hitting the 21-minute mark at this point in my recording, and that is Everything Everywhere All at Once. And kind of basic, I guess, but it's just that good of a movie, because I don't even know how to put into words how good this movie was. It's just a movie you have to experience firsthand to see just how brilliant it is, because I can go on about the acting all day. I mean, Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Lee Curtis, Ke Huy Quan, Stephanie Sue, James Hong, they're all amazing, and every Oscar nomination this movie got was very well deserved. I really hope it kind of sweeps the Oscars, because I feel like it should. If I had to choose between The Fabelmans or this for Best Picture, I would go The Fabelmans, because it's a nice tribute to Steven Spielberg, but I would not be mad at all if this movie won Best Picture, because it's that good. I hope it sweeps the Oscars. It's an amazing movie. Check it out if you haven't, and so it's at number 1. Okay, that is my top 20 movies of 2022. What's your favorite movie of 2022? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.